Serving for Central State is Webster Hawkins. Ball is up and over. Slow hit by Tharp, and that one is blocked but out of bounds for a Buckeyes point.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to watch, is that battle, and that can both these teams take control of blocks and plays of the net to try to slow that offense down, and Ohio State able to pick up the first point of this matchup.
O'Riordan back to serve for the Buckeyes. That one's up and over. Latham with the dig, and a push from the outside is Falayi.
Yeah, and Falayi, homecoming for him, Columbus native, went to Westerville North, so this has got to be a cool moment for him to be able to get back on this floor. Obviously, probably has got some family here today.
Close to home for that Columbus native. As Harris sends the ball over. It's out of bounds from the Buckeyes side.
Yeah, they tried to go from the 10-foot line that time, and just that, try to go to the back row. Not a bad idea there, just not executed that time by the Buckeye offense.
Marauders up by 1. Harris to serve again. Up and over, O'Riordan with a dig. And from the backside is Tharp. He pushes that one over top of the block. And to the outside, an attack, but it's stuffed as Preston Smith, a Buckeyes block.
He tried to go right at Tharp. I think Henwood Rodriguez there as well to help out. And that time, the Buckeye block able to pick up their first block of that matchup and level this setup at 2.
Back to serve for Ohio State is Brady Jones. Serve is good. And a dig to the outside. Smith will try again. That one out of bounds.
Yeah, it's going to be a point, though, for Central State. Just that ball dropped on the right side of the line that time. And they attacked that block once again. And instead of Ohio State picking up the point that time, it just falls harmlessly down. So a little bit of a change from that last point, but you see Central State trying to go right at that Buckeye block here early.
Falayi with the serve. Henwood Rodriguez to the middle for Salvatores, and he gets a kill.
Yeah, Salvatores, the Lincoln Memorial transfer for Ohio State. He just able to tune that thing up from the middle, and that could have been dug out. Just kind of a miss hit on that dig, and that allows Ohio State to tie this set here at 3.
Tharp back to serve for Ohio State. Up and over, just over top of the net. And a tap attempt by Taylor. Push to the outside for Smith. A little bit too much on it, out of bounds.
Yeah, not a bad idea there for Smith, trying to go down the line that time. Just wasn't able to catch hands, and so might see an early challenge here as second-year head coach Devin Walker has just walked to the table and grabbed his challenge card. So we'll go take a look at this. And I imagine they're going to be looking for a potential touch potentially at that net.
Yeah, that one was close, and it was a pretty low hit as well. So definitely a possibility that it could have touched some hands or possibly just touched the net as well, but get an opportunity to take a second look.
Yeah, you see Ohio State head coach Kevin Birch talking to his guys right now. So almost a free timeout as well here for both these teams here early, and you see taking a look at this one. So obviously every review is pivotal, but especially here early in this first set, as we're going to get a look at it right here. You see the attack, and did it hit Henwood Rodriguez or did it hit Tharp there on the way by? Very close on both those ends, you could say.
That was a really close one, especially with that block up front with Henwood Rodriguez. It was a really low hit over top of the net, and it looked like if it didn't touch his hands, it went right between them.
And it looks like, just based on that camera angle right there, you can see on the monitor, it looks like they're really zoomed in on that net. So probably looking at what that Henwood Rodriguez looked at that time of right just above his fingertips there going past. And the question is, did it just catch a little part of those fingertips? This will be a look from the back right here. Might be a good idea. Close to tell. And the call is confirmed there, Sarah. So Central State loses a challenge here very early.
And for those of you who are not 100% sure how those challenge cards work, just a little bit of an update here. So Central State loses that challenge card. If they would have won that challenge, they would have been able to keep it. But Ohio State keeps the point instead. And Tharp is back to serve. And that one up and over and out of bounds for a service error.
Yeah, the service line is going to be huge for both these squads. You got to limit the errors, and you got to limit getting aced is the term. You don't want to let your opponent start to take hold from that service line.
Back to serve for the Marauders is Williams. That one's up and over. Henwood Rodriguez backside for O'Riordan, and he gets a kill as that one just touches the back line.
And And O'Riordan getting some run here in this game. He's able to find the back line. Just 7 kills coming into this matchup here, but it picks up a 1 here early.
Back to serve for the Buckeyes is Nolte. That one's up and over. So it graces the net as well. From the backside, Williams tries one. High block by the Buckeyes. And a spinning dig goes back to Ohio State's side. And Henwood Rodriguez gets a kill.
Yeah, double hit that time. Called on Central State. And that's a heck of a job there by Benjamin Latham. The libero that time, he really tracked that ball. That went into the I'm not sure how it didn't hit a ceiling beam, to be 100% honest, but he was able to get out underneath that thing and track it to dig it. But just the air on Central State just give the Buckeyes a free point.
Buckeyes up by 2 as Nolte serves again. Williams with the dig and a push from Taylor.
And this is where Central State needs to continue to respond when Ohio State gets these points, because they fell behind in that first set the first time they matched up, losing 25-13. Don't want to get off to a slow start here in this one against this number 12 Buckeye team.
Smith serving for the Marauders. Hudson with a dig. Henwood Rodriguez for Salvatores as he gets a termination.
I mean, that set couldn't have been any better to Salvatores. Put it right at the top of the arc, right where you can just slam down on that ball, and picks up his second kill. He had 8 the last time out against Northern Kentucky, and so Salvatore has been a nice piece in the middle here for the Buckeyes. They really had to replace a couple of nice middle blockers after last season.
He's been a big addition here for Ohio State. Cole Young was one of those middle blockers for the Buckeyes. That was a big loss after last season, as that one goes to Central State with a touch.
Yeah, just clip some fingers there. That's what I thought initially. You kind of see the look on Kevin Birch. I'm not sure if he believes it right now, but I think he's going to hold on to that challenge card. So it'll stay 7-6 here in favor of the Buckeyes, and the Marauders able to pull back within 1 here. Taylor
serving. Hudson with a dig to the backside for Tharp. That one's a little too high.
Yeah, Tharp a couple of times. He's got some big power on those swings, but just hasn't been able to keep it in here early in this first set. Buckeyes now up to 2 attack errors in the opening set.
Taylor serving again. O'Riordan with the dig. And he'll try for an attack with the left hand. Harris from the outside goes off the Ohio State block. So O'Riordan once again with another attempt as he roll shots it over. And a free ball save by Central State. Ohio State with the opportunity to take advantage, and another attack error.
Yeah, that's a good job right there. It was Amir Taylor, number 10 on the outside. He was there in position to dig that thing out, but then he realized, hey, that's gonna sidewind out of bounds. Good read, lets it go, and the Marauders their first lead of this first set.
Little run here by the Marauders. 8-7 is the score. O'Riordan tries for another one on the outside, and he gets it.
Yeah, there's O'Riordan, his second kill of the set. And the Buckeyes and Marauders, neither team able to grab that foothold of momentum thus far, just trading points back and forth.
Now, something that's interesting, too, here for Ohio State, you're not seeing some of those players that you would normally see in that starting lineup. For example, Wetzel as well as Haczynski. So it'll be interesting to see if they come in here at all in any of these sets against Central State. Harris tries from the outside, and he's blocked by Ohio State.
Yeah, second block here by Ohio State early on, and that's something that the Marauders really struggled with from the first time that they matched up, was that block game. Ohio State had 5.5, Central State 4.5, so not horrible in that department, but the Buckeyes here early in this first set have taken control of that block.
That triple block between Jones, O'Riordan, and Tharp. Henwood Rodriguez serves. Harris goes for a kill.
Harris that time, the Columbus native, able to rise right there on that swing. Perfect spot. No one was really on that back left corner for Ohio State, so good job at recognizing that, and you'll get a look at it right here. Rodriguez the nearest one, but just splits the difference.
Back serving for Central State is Webster Hawkins. That one goes out of bounds on the Buckeyes side. Marauders up by 1. Webster Hawkins serving again. Hudson with the dig to the outside for Tharp. Latham with a nice dig there on the Central State side as Harris gets a kill off the out-of-bounds line.
Yeah, just great placement once again by Harris. Goes cross court that time. He's just able to curl that inside the back right corner. No one was there for Ohio State on that attempt, so Harris has had a couple of nice swings here early in the set.
We talked about Harris before the game. There's a service error by Central State, but he had 219 kills last year, 32 aces, 66 digs, so he was a big part of that offense and defense for the Marauders last season. He's continued that so far as well. He's got 69 kills before this first set, but coming into this game against Ohio State. O'Riordan serving. Webster Hawkins to the outside for Williams, and he'll try one more time after the block by Ohio State. Lindenwood Rodriguez to Tharp on the opposite side. That one's out of bounds.
Yeah, Tharp just not able to really get on top of these balls right now, I feel like, on the swing. That's his second attack here of the set, and that was very much like the first, just a rocket off his hand, just not able to get that downward action on the ball.
Marauders up by 2. Harris serving. Up and over by Ohio State, and there's a kill for Jones.
Yeah, Jones, a young player here for Ohio State, a freshman out of Loveland, Ohio. He appeared in the first Central State match. Hasn't got a ton of run this season, but getting the start today, and he gets a big swing and kill.
Jones played in that Central State match. That was the last and only match he's played so far this season, so making his second appearance against this same team. Tharp tries to push it over. And a Buckeye point.
I'll pull the Buckeyes back level at 12, nearing the halfway point of this first set. Be interested to see if one of these teams can start to pull away and maybe force one of the head coaches to take a timeout here.
Got a really close first set here. It's been competitive as Jones serves it over. A free ball mistake, but a save by Smith. And that was some hustle there on the Central State side, but Buckeyes come out with the point.
Yeah, they did a good effort trying to get that one, but just ran out of real estate there at the end. So that's going to be ace number 1 here of this match, and it's going to go to Ohio State and Jones.
Jones back at the service line again. So Buckeyes go up by 1, and there's a service error to tie it back up.
Well, when you give, you sometimes get taken from sometimes. Right after the second career ace there for Jones, he just leaves that one out, and we're tied again at 13.
Falayi back to serve for Central State. Now one's up and over. Hudson with a dig. Lindenwood Rodriguez to Salvatores. Just a little push, but it works as he gets a kill.
Yeah, Salvatores there, another kill. That's going to be kill number 3 for him in the set. I'll lead the Buckeyes, but you've got 3 players with at least 2 kills here thus far for Ohio State.
Tharp back at the service line. Sends a slow serve over to the other side, and that was a snappy attack, but an error as the Buckeyes get a point.
That's such a tough shot to execute there for Taylor, trying to just
match. He has 273 so far this season, leading the Ohio State Buckeyes from that setter position, and a service error to start us back up in play. Williams back to serve. That one is up and out of bounds. Trading service errors here in this set.
Yeah, it's going to be service error number 2 of the set here for Central State. Buckeyes have 3, and yeah, both these teams are very clean for the first part of the set, but as we've gotten to this middle portion, we've started to see those services kind of get a little bit sloppier for both these teams.
Back to serve for the Buckeyes is Nolte. Sends that one over to Latham. Outside for Smith, a roll shot off the hands of Ohio State, and he'll get a kill.
Yeah, great job on that roll shot. Buckeyes were expecting a big smash that time off his hand. Just took a little off it that time, and it couldn't be dug out on the other end.
And after that kill, Smith will go back to the service line. Sends it up and over and just out of bounds.
I thought for a second that was going to stay in there. That was awfully close off his hand that time, but another service error, and the Buckeyes will bring in a serve substitution, it looks like.
And that was a close one. I also thought for a second it was too. And in for Ohio State is Stanislaw Haczynski, who has been a starter for the Buckeyes this season. He has played in every matchup except for the last one that they played against Northern Kentucky. Haczynski successful from the service line this season. He's got 8 aces. Sends that one up and over and give him a 9th.
It's almost like you were ready for that one there, huh?
I think I called it. He must have heard me. So another ace for the Buckeyes. It's their second of the afternoon. Now up by 3. Back to Latham is where Hachinsky sends that one as well. Harris will try for an attack and a block by the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Harris trying to attack that block once again, but this time Rodriguez and Jones able to get the best of him on the outside. Buckeyes have been bringing 2 to a lot of those attacks thus far, and that's going to be their 3rd block of the set.
Hachinsky with his 3rd trip back to the service line here. He's been sending it to that middle, and he does once again, but a little too much power on it for a service error. Back to serve for the Marauders is Taylor. So he sends that one up and over. Hudson with a dig from the backside is Nolte. And he gets the kill.
Yeah, Nolte from that 10-foot line. The big smash right there. And the Buckeyes quietly have built up a 4-point advantage here, now up to 20. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see Devin Walker probably take one of his 2 timeouts here in the next point or 2.
There's another look at that play. That was a nice one. As you saw, Jones from that front row go up for the fake, and then Nolte hit it from the back row instead. Henwood Rodriguez is serving for Ohio State. Patrick sets it up to Harris on the outside, a little too high and out of bounds.
That time he was trying to lift over the block that time, but couldn't find the back row.
2 sets. Henwood Rodriguez back to serve again for the Buckeyes. Sends that one up and over, a short serve, but saved by Central State. And that's Nolte. Jones from the middle as he rolls and gets a kill.
I think he hit that right into a block and ended up pretty much helping him out. Took all the momentum out of that ball and allowed it to fall right in the middle of all the diving Marauders right there. And the Buckeyes just starting to really just pull out in front here in this first set, just 3 away from taking it.
There's another look at that one. As you mentioned, it just laid perfectly for Jones from that front row. Henwood Rodriguez serving again. He sends that one up and over and out of bounds.
Yeah, service error there on Ohio State. That's going to be service error number 4 this set. Make that 5, beg your pardon. So let's see if the Marauders can take advantage of that opportunity here.
Back to serve for the Marauders is Patrick. Sends a short one over, and Harris gets a kill.
Yeah, just a little overpass there for Ohio State, and Harris didn't waste that opportunity for Central State. Just set up right on a platter for him, and that's back-to-back here for the Marauders.
Buckeyes now up by 4. Henwood Rodriguez to the middle for Jones. He gets another one.
Yeah, Jones here. He's had a couple of nice plays in this first set. He's up to 3 kills now, and the Buckeyes, they're spreading the kills around here in this first set. They've got 5 players who have gotten a kill thus far. Central State's got 4 as well.
O'Riordan serving for the Buckeyes. 2 points away from this first set, and he gets an ace.
That's that point now, Ohio State, and it's just like no one reacted there for the Marauders. Everyone kind of just watched that ball fall down. I think they were thinking it was going to stay out of bounds, and it dropped pretty easily there on the floor for Ohio State in their 3rd ace of this first set.
That was an interesting serve. It did seem like it had a lot of power to it, but it dropped perfectly for the Buckeyes as they sit at set point. Henwood Rodriguez to the outside for Nolte. Latham sends up a high dig. To the outside, Williams, and he is blocked by the Buckeyes.
Those battles in those couple of categories, but those were huge there in that first set.
Definitely the difference makers there for Ohio State. 3 aces so far this afternoon. Henwood Rodriguez looking for a chance himself from the service line as he rolls that one off of the net. Patrick with a set. Back over to Ohio State side is O'Riordan. He'll try for a second one after the touch by Central State on the last one. A diving save and a free ball sent over to the Buckeyes. Henwood Rodriguez to the backside for Tharp, and he gets a kill.
There's Tharp. He brings a lot of power, as you can see on those swings, and he goes cross-court, able to carve out that far side sideline to get the Buckeyes on the board here in the second set.
Tharp was struggling with some of those attack errors earlier on in that first set, so that was a nice kill there for him, starting off in the second. Henwood Rodriguez serves it again. And some miscommunication on the Central State side as it drops on their court.
Yeah, it's just not the type of plays that you need right now if you're the Marauders after dropping that first set. Like you said, a little miscommunication. That's all it took there for the Buckeyes to collect another ace.
And Patrick, the setter on that Marauders side, just miscommunication there on who was to grab that second ball as Buckeyes go up by 2. And when Rodriguez sends it over, Patrick with that set, and Harris gets a kill.
That was well done there by the Marauders. It was Folai there in the middle acting like he was going to take that swing. Instead, a little bit of a deke. They end up setting up Harris there on the outside, and he's able to come through. So well done there by Devin Walker's squad.
Harris leading his team with 5 kills so far, and there's a kill from the Buckeyes side in Jones.
Yeah, Jones has certainly been a force in the middle thus far. He's now up to 4 kills on 6 attempts.
Back to serve is O'Riordan. Buckeyes with the early lead. Sends the serve over. A diving save, but a free ball goes back to Ohio State. And when Rodriguez sets up Jones just out of bounds.
Yeah, just trying to go to the near side, and Kevin Birch talking with the first referee right now, disagreeing about something on that last play, trying to get an explanation.
Yeah, definitely not happy on the Buckeyes side, but it'll stay with Central State as Harris serves it over. Nolte will try one from the outside. He gets a kill.
Yeah, Ian Nolte there on the outside, just using the block to his advantage that time for the Marauders, able to catch some hands, and it falls down, and Nolte with kill number 2 on the day for himself.
And back to serve is Jones. Serve is over, dug by Harris. Patrick to the outside for Smith, and he rolls that one for a sharp kill.
Yeah, there's Preston Smith, the sophomore out of Belize City, Belize, and a big swing there on the outside, able to catch the hands that time and knock it off. So this is going to be big here. The Marauders keep it close here in the second set. You want to run at some point.
Plai serves it over. O'Riordan tries for a back row attack, and it's an error. So now we're all tied up here in this second set, 4-4. Plai back to serve. To O'Riordan for a dig, and then the backside Tharp, he gets another kill.
Yeah, Tharp this time, he looks like he's really made that adjustment there from that first set. Was sailing them now, but he's really getting on top of these balls and putting some good swings on them. There's another good one to collect that kill.
2 quick kills for Tharp as he goes back to the service line. Patrick sets up on the opposite side for Williams. Out of bounds, but he gets the point off the kill.
Yeah, the Buckeyes are almost able to pick up set block number 5 of this match right there. Just weren't able to get the landing. Did everything but that landing there at the end to keep it in bounds.
Williams serving. So he sends that one into the net. There are those service errors. You talked about the difference from the line so far this afternoon. That's Central State's 4th, so they're just 1 behind the Buckeyes who have 5, but those aces have been a big difference as well on the Ohio State side. Nolte serving. Fiery serve sent to Latham, who digs it up. Smith from the outside tips it over. Off the hands of the Buckeye block. O'Riordan trying from the outside, and he is blocked, but it's out of bounds. He gets a termination.
Yeah, O'Riordan right there. He's gotten now 9 swings so far, and he's got 3 kills to show for it. He's getting the bulk of these swings right now, leading the Buckeyes, although Jones and Tharp each have 8 attempts themselves.
Nolte serving. Buckeyes up by 2. Sends that one over. Free ball opportunity for Ohio State. It's going to go to O'Riordan on that outside. Central State sends it back over. Tharp from the opposite. He gets a termination.
Yeah, Tharp able to go down the line. Just perfect placement that time. And that's a tough one to dig out. And you saw just rockets off the hands that time into the crowd. And the Buckeyes building up a 3-point lead here.
Tharp with his 5th kill of the afternoon. Nolte sends it into the net for a service error. So Tharp has had those 3 quick kills in the second set. He's now sitting at a .333 percentage on his 5 kills. Marauders back to serve at Smith. Sends it over. Backside Nolte, a fiery attack and kill.
He's fired up after that as well, and I mean, he just goes back row that time, and that's such a tough one to dig out that time for Preston Smith. Gave it his best effort, but that's not the easiest ball in the world to dig, and it just careened off his hands and went backwards there for another Buckeye point.
Back at the line is Salvatores. His serve is over to Latham. Harris from the outside. He sends it over, but a Buckeye block stops it.
Yeah, up to 5 now. It's the first of the set, and biggest lead of the set now here at 4 for Ohio State.
Salvatores back at the line again. He sends that one up and over. Patrick to the outside for Harris, a roll shot, and that one just drops perfectly in bounds.
Yeah, Nolte can't believe it for Ohio State. He took that one to the line and decided it was going out, and then it just dropped down right before it go out and just had kind of a look of disbelief on his face. Couldn't believe it.
It's a high hit by Harris. It did look like maybe he was going to sail a little bit further, but nice positioning there on that back corner for the kill. A service error to follow, though, by Central State, and the Buckeyes get the serve back. Lindenwood Rodriguez at the line. Sends that one into the net.
Back and forth. And service errors. That's service error number 7, or 7 of the set here for Ohio, or of this match, should I say, for Ohio State.
Patrick serving. Lindenwood Rodriguez setting up Tharp on the outside, and he gets a kill. Some hustle there by Central State. Latham and Smith really trying to get that ball back over, but Tharp collects a kill instead.
Yeah, Smith might have had a chance to keep that thing going, but it would have been tough for Central State. Obviously would have had to get it over the net on their next touch, and Smith, just knew that he was running out of room, and I think that kind of just got to him there at the very end. Can't really fault him. That's a very tough dig right there.
O'Riordan rolls the serve over. Patrick to Falai. Sent back over to the Central State side. Harris will try from the opposite. He gets a termination.
Yeah, Harris heating up. We talked about him going into this one, the big 14 kill performances last time out. Now he's up to 7 here, about halfway through the second set.
Hitting at a .231 percentage. Harris going back to the service line, and there's an error. Seeing a lot of service errors here in the middle of this second set, similar to that first one, as the Buckeyes now have the serve. It's Jones. Jones sends it over. Harris keeps it up, but a push by the Buckeyes. It's over. They touched it on the Marauders side, so it'll be a Central State point.
Yeah, Buckeyes got a little aggressive that time. That wasn't the greatest set in the world. It was pushed a little bit more out in front than the Marauders were looking for that time. And the Buckeyes tried to take advantage, but like you said, touching the net that time, coming over the top for the air, and the Marauders will take that point.
Falai back to serve. Sends that one up and just out of bounds.
Didn't miss by too much. Buckeyes just one away here from sending us to a timeout here in the set with 15 if they can find one more point here.
Tharp back to serve for the Buckeyes. Sends that one just over top of the net. Latham will set it up for Williams, and there's that 15th point off a block by Ohio State.
I'm not sure how Tyler Tharp got that thing over the net on the serve.
At times it was those opportunities from the service line where you saw him play, but he's really come into his own so far this season. He's got 34 kills in the 7 matches that he's played so far. And there's another kill on the Central State side, though, and that one is for Taylor.
Yeah, Amir Taylor, the St. Louis native, formerly at Indiana Tech University, was able to pick up that kill and pulls the Marauders back within 4.
Williams back at the service line. Sends it over to Nolte. From the backside is O'Riordan, and he gets a kill.
Now Reardon soaring right in there. The senior outside, he's another guy that, as mentioned, only came into this match with 7 kills, just a pair of matches last year, but taking advantage of this opportunity here today. He's got a couple of nice plays.
Reardon collecting his 4th kill of the afternoon as Nolte serves, and that one's up. A fight at the net. It's going to be a pushback over by Ohio State. Patrick to the outside for Smith, and a reaching save by Nolte. Outside again for O'Riordan. Back over to Central State. Patrick looking for Smith again on the outside. That one's out of bounds. Buckeyes now up by 6. We're getting closer to the finish line of the second set. Nolte serving again. And that one goes into the net for a service error.
Yeah, that's the 8th service error here for Ohio State. Do have the 4 aces, though. But both the offenses have been a lot cleaner here in the second set compared to the first. Buckeyes hitting .333, Marauders .231 after an .045 hitting percentage in the first set.
And a switch up here on the Buckeyes side as Nolte is subbed out for Daniel Hurley. To the outside, O'Riordan. And that one out of bounds.
Just getting out of the way that time was Preston Smith. I thought that was going to drill him in the upper body that time, but he's able to twist himself away from that ball and let that fly out of bounds, or else that would have been a Buckeye point.
And Smith, after that play, is back at the service line. He sends that one up and out of bounds.
Yeah, just trying to take a little off that one, a little floater over the net that time, but left it wide, and now we'll see Hachinski come back in to serve. He's got an ace on one serve thus far.
Yeah, Hachinski had that ace when he first came in, as you had mentioned, his first serve back into the game. Coming back in here as a service specialist for the Buckeyes today. Sends that one again to the middle to Latham. And on the outside is Harris. Stopped by Ohio State hands. He'll try for another roll, and that one just falls perfectly in the middle.
I mean, he just put that in pretty much the only spot that he could right there. Hurley might have had a shot at it, but he kind of second-guessed himself before he could commit to laying out to try to dig that one out, and that kind of sealed the deal that time for Harris.
Buckeyes up by 4. Some lineup changes here as Hudson comes back in that libero position after the serve by the middle blocker. Taylor serving for the Marauders, and another service error. And that has been the biggest difference, as you had talked about, was
that one out, and that kind of sealed the deal that time for Harris.
Buckeyes up by 4. Some lineup changes here as Hudson comes back in that libero position after the serve by the middle blocker. Taylor serving for the Marauders, and another service error. And that has been the biggest difference, as you had talked about, was the service errors here. They're about even for these two teams. 9 now for Central State, 8 for Ohio State, but the 4 aces for the Buckeyes, and not a single ace so far on the Marauders side. Serving again is Henwood Rodriguez, and that one is out of bounds.
Left it a little too long. Well, you'll take these points to the Marauders, but you're getting to the point where you need to build upon that. You can't trade points at this point of the set. Already trailing 1-0. Got to find a big run here.
Patrick serving. Sends that one to Hudson. From the middle is Jones. Marauders side, Williams rolls it over and places it in the middle for a kill.
Yeah, Patrick that time doing just enough to dig that out and keep that off the floor there. That time for Central State, and there he is at the service line right after that huge dig. Able to capitalize on a kill, and now back-to-back for Marauders.
Central State down by 3 now as O'Riordan tries it from the opposite and gets the point.
O'Riordan there, the big swing. He goes cross-court to pick up his 5th kill so far. Now he'll get the service here for the Buckeyes.
Buckeyes have now hit that 20 mark here in the second set. As O'Riordan serves, Latham with a dig. Patrick to the middle for Falayin. He gets the kill. So Marauders only down by 3 late in the second set. Definitely still have an opportunity to come back and grab this one.
Absolutely.
Harris sends it over. Henwood Rodriguez to the middle for Jones. Off the hands of the Marauders. He'll try for another one, and he gets a kill.
There's Jones. First time we said his name in a few minutes here since that first set, but he picks up his 5th kill. Just able to drop it right out in front of the outstretched arms that time.
And Jones just second behind Tharp in that kill category, leading the Buckeyes. Tied with O'Riordan at 5. There's a service error on the Buckeyes side.
Yeah, back within 3 now, Central State. Got to take advantage of the service error for Ohio State. And it looks like they're going to bring in a serve specialist as well.
And to serve is Deegan Symes, freshman outside hitter. Symes send that one over. A little bit too much and another service error.
Yeah, they try to go for the freshman that time, and he just left it a little long. So Symes will head back to the bench, and that puts the Buckeyes within 3 of taking set number 2 here.
Tharp serving for Ohio State. A slow serve, and that one goes into the net.
What is that now, 3 or 4 straight collectively?
It's been a lot of service errors late in this second set. That's 10 total for both now, sitting at double digits. Williams serves it over. Henwood Rodriguez outside for Nolte, and he slams it down for a kill.
There's Nolte, the big hammer that time. I mean, he put that one. This has been dirt. That one probably would have been a few feet underground for the way he hit that one. And you get another look at it right there, just extra elevation, able to get right on top of that ball.
Nolte after the kills at the service line. Sends it over. Patrick to the outside for Smith. A snappy attack. Ohio State digs it up. Nolte from the backside, and he just drops it in bounds.
Pretty much the same swing that time, but he goes for the cross-court shot. Able to drop it in, and set point now for Ohio State.
Buckeyes with the opportunity to close out this second set. Marauders down by 5. Nolte sends it into the net. So Central State stays alive for another point. Smith back to serve. That one's up and over. Hudson digs it. Back row, Nolte, and he closes out the set with another kill.
Well, when you're hot, you might as well just feed the hot hand, and Ian Nolte there caught fire. Find maybe that ace. Find maybe that block. Just find a couple of those huge swing points here early, build upon a lead, and just try to force a fourth set. I think that's what you got to do if you're Central State. Obviously, you can't get the entire deficit back at once. You still got to play a fourth set if you can force it, but get to that point and then attack from there.
We'll start off this third set, and Patrick is serving for the Marauders. Sends that one over. Nolte dives to dig it up. O'Riordan from the opposite side. He starts it off with a kill for Ohio State.
Yeah, O'Riordan, another guy that kind of heated up at the end of that last set. He's up to 6 kills now here on 15 attempts.
O'Riordan at the service line after his kill. Buckeyes getting the first point of this set. Sends that one over. Williams dives and saves it. Falai tries for an attack, but puts it in the net.
And just a miss hit that time off his hand. Kind of hit down on it too much, sent it into the net. And that's just the kind of points here where you're down 2-0 here that you just don't want to see if you're this Marauder squad right now.
O'Riordan serving again for Ohio State. That one's up and over to Latham. Patrick outside for Williams. Rolls that one over. O'Riordan dives for a save. From the backside is Teresi for Ohio State, and that's a substitution as well. Yeah. He collects that one.
Yeah, Christian Teresi kind of snuck in there on us. First time we've said his name today, and what a dig to start it by O'Riordan. Finished off by Teresi there for a 3-0 Buckeye lead to start this third set.
And Teresi, the freshman setter, too. getting that attack. Patrick pushes it to Falahi, and that one out of bounds.
Yeah, Falahi had that last one where he sent it straight down to the net, tried to make the adjustment. That one just floated on him a little bit. And the Buckeyes out to a 4-0 run here to begin the third.
Central State yet to get a point in this third set. So this one's starting out a little differently than those first two that were closer. Reardon serves it over. That was a fiery one, but it goes out of bounds.
Ohio State might take a look at this one here as Kevin Birch walks immediately and picks up that challenge card. So we'll see another look at this. And I'll tell you what, at least from our vantage point, from our view, that looked pretty close. So I'm interested to see the looks we have at this one because that was very close.
And that was the second serve that looked like that from O'Riordan. He had another one in one of the earlier sets that dropped on the line. That one they called inbound, so definitely a similar experience here with that one.
I mean, obviously a pivotal point even at this part of the third set. 2-point swing. If Ohio State can win this, it's up to a 5-0 start. If you're Central State, hey, you're on the board right now, and we're going to get the call.
And they reverse the call. Ohio State keeps their challenge card and takes the point.
Yeah, 5-0 start now, and we'll get a look at it right here. Ultra zoomed up mode. Good look here by our production crew, and yeah, I think that
one did drop
in. So
bounds. So a service ace for O'Riordan, his second. He rolls a high serve over. Patrick to the backside. Harris. A reaching save for Hudson and Nolte. Some hustle on the Ohio State side to send a free ball back over, but Falahi takes advantage of that free ball with a kill.
Yeah, that whole play was started with the initial attack there by the Marauders, drawing that defense for Ohio State to the near side of the floor, and that allowed Falahi to get in there and just tap it to that other side where the defense had kind of vacated that side.
So Central State gets their first point. Harris serves. Henwood Rodriguez backside for Teresi. And he gets another kill.
Yeah, Teresi here picking up his first couple of kills here of his career here in this set. Obviously, you mentioned more of a setter coming in, but obviously he certainly can swing from the outside as well as we've seen now 2 kills here in the third set.
Yeah, Teresi listed as a setter, but they're playing him, it seems, here from that opposite side position. Henwood Rodriguez still in as well as the setting. Main setter for the Buckeyes. It's backside Williams, 2 Ohio State touches and a block.
Yeah, there's Eliel Salvatore and also Nolte in there for Ohio State picking up another block here for the Buckeyes. That'll be Torres' second here today.
Buckeyes up by 6 now. Jones back to serve. Sends that serve over. Williams sets it up for Harris in the back row, and he gets a kill.
Yeah, it didn't look like Harris, too, got the greatest hit on that ball. Looked a little flat, but he's just able to find the right spot on the floor, split the difference there in that back row defense for Ohio State.
Williams, too, having to set that one up. Obviously not their main setter out on the court, but got it where it needed to be for Harris's kill. Nolte from the outside, off the hands of the Marauders. Smith tracks it down for an attack, tipped back over by the Buckeyes. We'll try one more, and that one out of bounds.
I think it hit the antenna there for Ohio State, so they'll take the point, push the lead up to 8-2 now. Their biggest lead of this third set at 6, and I mean, if you can just keep building upon this, if you're Ohio State, you're going to be feeling, I would say, awfully good here going down the stretch of this third set.
Teresi back to serve for Ohio State. This set a lot different than what we've seen so far today. And he splits the defense for an ace.
That's going to be the 6th ace for Ohio State here today. I mean, they have just been doing it from the service line.
And Teresi has played in the 8 matches so far this season for Ohio State, but mainly comes in at the service line. As he tries for another one. That one too much power, out of bounds. Buckeyes still up by 6 after the error. Williams with an opportunity at the service line. He sends that one up and over. Teresi free ball save. Nolte tries it from the 10-foot line. Taylor from the middle. off the net, Buckeyes point.
Yeah, that kind of just got propelled off the top of the net and then off the hand of a Marauder there back there. And Latham, the libero, he had a long way to run to try to track that one down. He gave it a good effort, but just couldn't get to, and that restores the Buckeyes' 7-point lead.
Buckeyes reach double digits as Nolte's back at the line. Latham with the dig, free ball, fight at the nets. Back over to the Marauders side, and Ohio State gets the point.
Everything's just going right here in this third set for the Buckeyes. This has certainly been the most dominant set we've seen so far. If Ohio State can keep what they've been doing up here, still a lot of time to play in the third set, though.
Nolte serving again for Ohio State. Sends that one over, out of bounds.
Yeah, good call there by Williams there on the outside. He knew that one was going out right from the hand, calling off his teammates and let it go out for the service error.
And Hurley sub back in for Ohio State. Smith at the service line for Central State. Hudson with the dig. Teresi now in that setter position as he sets up Salvatores for a kill.
Salvatores now his 4th kill on 5 attacks. Hasn't had an attack error yet, so he's been efficient. Hasn't had too many opportunities offensively in this one, but when he has gotten the looks, he's taken advantage. You see he goes right down the line that time for the kill. And the Buckeyes' biggest lead of the set at 8.
And Teresi with that setup, he's filling out that stat sheet. He's got 2 kills, an assist, and an ace. Haczynski back in to serve. Latham with the dig. Outside to Harris as he puts that one down for a termination. Harris collecting his 10th kill of the afternoon.
He's been very efficient while doing it, too. Now, a little over 300 hitting percentage. He was in the 100s the last time out, despite the 14 kills.
From the backside is Henwood Rodriguez. He tries for an attack of his own, but it's an error on the Buckeyes side. So we're seeing kind of a switch up here from Ohio State. Henwood Rodriguez on that opposite side, attacking. And a service error by the Marauders.
I think we're seeing Ohio State experiment a lot with lineup here today, of course, mixing up the starting lineup, hey, where some of the people are on the floor, and, you know, those types of opportunities can really help out down the line. You know, you never know if you're going to get through a season fully healthy, you could say. So being able to get these reps for some of these guys here, that could be huge come down the stretch of a season.
Definitely helps with the depth of that team as Henwood Rodriguez serves it over. O'Riordan trying for an attack. Smith with a dig, but out of bounds, and another kill for O'Riordan.
That's just a tough dig right there for Preston Smith. Nothing he can really do about it. Right there on the back row, knew where that ball was coming, just couldn't complete that dig there, and the Buckeyes will take another point.
Henwood Rodriguez serving. Buckeyes up by 8. That one's over. Harris with a dig. He'll go for an attack as well. Off Ohio State hands. Henwood Rodriguez, far side O'Riordan. A free ball opportunity for the Buckeyes. Take advantage of it, and Teresi well from the opposite side.
Yeah, Christian Teresi now 3 through 3 on the day.
Sends the serve up, out of bounds. So there is error number 15 from the service line for Ohio State. Not far behind on the Marauders side. They've got 11. It's been a big mark of this match so far.
Yeah, the big key is, though, on that side at least, no aces.
Shepard serving for Central State as he comes in at the service line. From the outside is Teresi. He pushes it over, but it goes out of bounds.
You like the idea that time for Teresi, kind of recognize what he had on the floor, try to push it down the line, just pushed it too far left that time off the hand.
And it is Adam Shepard once again at the service line. Henwood Rodriguez backside O'Riordan. That one blocked by Central State, and that was a big key aspect that you had said that they needed to work on.
Yeah, the first block of the game there for the Marauders. Now they've creeped back within 6, so a little momentum out of the break here for the Marauders. See if they can continue to build upon that.
Ohio State still with a cushion of 6 points. Henwood Rodriguez outside Teresi, and another block by Central State.
2 straight. That's a 3-0 run of the timeout here for Central State, and they're back within 5, so not done yet here, trying to force set number 4.
This has been a big shift after the timeout. Ohio State was leading and attacking well, and there's a nice kill by Jones, but they've been attacking well without really any issues from a block at the net, and so those 2 blocks were definitely crucial for that Marauders team.
Yeah, absolutely, but that pushes back some of that momentum there. Was Jones able to get the big hammer that time. And now this will bring up a Reardon.
Buckeyes 16, Marauders at 10. It's a service error and a point for Central State. Harris serving. Sends that one out of bounds. So 2 service errors back-to-back again between these 2 teams. Jones serves it over. Latham digs it. Backside for Williams. Cross court dug up by Henwood Rodriguez. Teresi will track it down, but wasn't quite able to get his hand correct on that one.
Yeah, you could just tell from the get-go, as soon as he swung at that ball, that one was going to float a little bit, like you said. Not able to get the perfect touch off the hand that time.
17-12. Valai back to serve. And that one is another service error for the Marauders.
Yeah, good read there by Reardon there in the back row. Teresi there as well, letting that go past. That one was close.
Teresi serving. He's got 1 ace so far on the afternoon. Sends that one just over top of the net. I think my second calling of an ace there.
That's the second time, yeah.
So another ace for the Buckeyes and another one for Teresi, who came in this 3rd set and has really been making a difference for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's now going to be his 5th point recorded by him. He's got 3 kills now and 2 aces. Tied for the team lead for Reardon.
And he'll try again here from the service line, and he grabs another one. And that one just dropped on that back out of bounds line.
Line judge had the perfect look at it right there, right in the back row. 2 straight for Teresi, and now he's up to 3 aces on the day, and that's going to put the Buckeyes now up to 8.
So 2 service errors by Central State, and then leads into 2 service aces for Ohio State, and there's an error after those 2 aces. But that's definitely been the shift in the points so far in this 3rd one. As the Buckeyes have reached that 20-point mark. Williams serving. Hudson digs it up. Teresi now back at the setting position as he sets up Salvatores for a kill.
Yeah, Salvatores, former rail splitter of Lincoln Memorial. What a get that was for Ohio State. It's really carved his role there in the middle for Ohio State in the rotation of middle blockers. They're one of the leaders in that area for Ohio State.
Nolte's sharp serve sends over a free ball opportunity for Ohio State, and it's the setters from that opposite side as Henwood Rodriguez gets a kill of his own.
And Central State, they just started to show some momentum, show some life, and Ohio State just shoved them right back out the door over the last few points, quickly increasing that lead right back up to 9.
So Henwood Rodriguez collects his first kill. Setters are getting some attack action, and Nolte gets a service error.
I mean, the Buckeyes have done a good job spreading the offense around. 7 players have recorded kills in this one.
And it's been those players from different positions that you might not necessarily expect, which, again, is just a great way to add some depth to this team and their roster as well. O'Riordan from the outside. Latham digs it up. Smith to Harris. That one's too high out of bounds, but it's touched by Ohio State. So a point for Harris and the Marauders.
Yeah, first time Harris has gotten on the score sheet here in a few points. That's going to be kill number 11 for him, the clear leader for the Marauders, and he also leads the match in terms of total kills.
Smith back to serve. Nolte with the dig. Backside Hinwood Rodriguez collecting another kill.
And Henry Rodriguez, the Puerto Rican, talked about his assists the last time out, 33 assists, but had just 1 kill last time against Northern Kentucky, and now Rodriguez, that's going to be his second of this match.
Seen a lot of action on the opposite side for Hinwood Rodriguez. Salvatore serves for the Buckeyes, a service error. Buckeyes still up by 7, 2 points away from closing out this set and this match. Marauders in need of a few points to keep this match alive. Taylor serves it over, an attacking kill for the Buckeyes.
I'll bring it up to match point here, as that kill kind of just rolled off the top of the tape, and that's all the Buckeyes needed right there for Jones to pick up that kill.
Hinwood Rodriguez serving, an opportunity to close out this match. That one's up and over, out of bounds, so Central State will stay alive for another point.
Live to see one more point.
So this is a lot of pressure here for Shepherd, serving for the Marauders. That one's up and over. Hudson digs it up. Jones from the middle, and he gets the kill to close it out.
And Jones, that'll be his 8th kill. He'll finish up there. That's a career day for him, the young freshman here for Ohio State. And Buckeyes able to cruise there, 3-0 victory, and that was probably their best set of the day, I think you could say.
Yeah, the Buckeyes cruised in that 3-0 and with some players that you didn't really see. Wetzel didn't play at all. Haczynski